Spoiler alert, if you're not caught up on The Walking Dead and worried about potential spoilers for Season 7, you might want to skip this video. You have been warned.
You can breathe, you can blink, you can cry. Hell, you're all gonna be doing that.
We are still coping with the brutal murder of Abraham and especially that of Glenn.
Back to it.
It seems, however, like there won't be time to catch our breath, since Rick and his friends have now been turned into slaves by Negan and his sinister saviors.
We'll be back for our first offering in 1 week. Until then, ta-ta.
Since the upcoming storyline is once again based on the graphic novels by Robert Kirkman, now seems like the right time to present you the key figures of that saga and dive in a little deeper into their function within this specific plotline. Negan, the sadistic yet charismatic villain who tends to feed his baseball bat Lucille, is the center of the story. He blackmails 3 communities simultaneously under the threat of death and destruction into providing him with half of their supplies.
Welcome to a brand new beginning, you sorry shits.
Negan is known for his foul mouth, his sadism, and his authoritarian lifestyle.
Now I hope, for all your sake, that you get it now.
Another aspect that makes Negan so iconic in the source material are the rules he established. For example, he is a man of his word and will not harm people if they cooperate. He also rejects sexual violence and is willing to kill his own people if they turn out to be rapists.
I will shut that shit down, no exceptions.
Even though Negan has multiple wives himself, he allows them to leave, which does however result in the loss of their privileges, which the status of a wife has to offer. However, there's one thing that Negan does not tolerate: cheating.
That is a no-no.
An act like that results in the punishment of the male participant by deforming him with a hot iron, thus giving him the brand of shame. That iron is now also visible in the new intro to Season 7. In the comic books, Negan is fascinated by Rick's son Carl, who had the courage to attempt to assassinate him. In the show, however, Negan might develop this respect for Daryl. After all, he proved himself by punching him in the face.
I like him. He's mine now.
When at war, Negan is willing to kill anyone who stands in his way. Rick Grimes. I don't believe there's a need for us to introduce you to the protagonist of the show again. However, let us take a closer look at his role during the Negan saga. At first, Rick actually surrenders to Negan, since he realized that he is no match for this kind of manpower.
Daryl, they have an army. We would die, all of us.
Thus, he officially resigns as the leader of Alexandria and becomes Negan's subordinate. Soon, however, he secretly joins forces with Jesus and King Ezekiel in order to bring the tyrant to fall. So the fate of 3 communities is determined by Rick's war. Jesus. We were already introduced to the bearded warrior Paul Monroe, who was given quite the unusual nickname.
My friends used to call me Jesus. Your pick.
The Hilltop member plays a pivotal part in the war against Negan. Since his leader Gregory is quite the coward, Jesus takes matters into his own hands in the comic books and arranges a meeting between Rick and King Ezekiel in order to form an alliance. As a talented fighter and strategist, Jesus soon becomes one of Rick's most trusted allies. King Ezekiel. Aside from the Hilltop settlement and Alexandria, there is a third community which is terrorized by Negan, the so-called Kingdom. The leader of said community is the self-proclaimed king, Ezekiel. He tends to speak and act as if he lived in an actual medieval kingdom.
The kingdom is favored by your presence once more.
Oh, and he's got a tiger whom he saved as a cub from an overrun zoo and whom he named Shiva. In the comic books, Ezekiel reveals to Michonne that the show he put on for his people has the purpose to provide them with a sense of civilization. As he put it, fake it till you make it. In comparison to the leader of the Hilltop community, Gregory, Ezekiel is a courageous leader, who even keeps the truth from the majority of his community when it comes to the deal with Negan, so they will not feel burdened by it.
What we are doing here is a secret I keep from my people.
In the comic books, he and Michonne form a relationship. However, after the latest episode, we believe that in the TV version of the series, he might end up with Carol instead.
You do what you want.
Dwight. The rival of Daryl Dixon, who clashed with them numerous times before, plays a pivotal role in the battle against Negan in the comic books. The talented shot intends to betray his leader and to join forces with Jesus, Rick, and Ezekiel in order to bring him down. The reason for his hatred towards Negan? A woman, of course. To be more specific, his woman, Sherry, who currently is one of Negan's many wives. Dwight and Sherry once agreed to that arrangement with Negan, which would offer both of them privileges as soon as Sherry would become one of Negan's wife. However, since both loved each other too much, they began an affair that resulted in Dwight's punishment with the hot iron. When we first saw Dwight on the TV show, he, Sherry, and another young woman named Tina were on the run. While fleeing, they encountered Daryl.
Shut up.
Later on, the three of them, however, gave in and returned to their group, the Saviors. Ever since, half of Dwight's face has been deformed, which is why we assume that the TV version of the character was also punished with the iron.
Maximum impact to get our point across.
Maggie Green. Life is not easy for the farmer's daughter. First, her house burned down. Then she had to witness her own father being decapitated right in front of her. Her sister got shot, and now her husband got smashed into soup by Negan.
No exceptions!
In the comic books, Maggie leaves for Hilltop after the death of Glenn. There, she soon becomes an authority figure, since the community continues to distance itself from their leader Gregory. Since she is still loyal to Rick, she motivates the citizens of Hilltop to join in the battle against the tyrannical Negan. Eugene Porter. The coward of Rick's group has not really done a lot for his reputation in the past. He lied to Abraham and the rest about having a cure for the zombie disease in order to be protected by them.
I have a very important mission.
However, soon he became a valuable member of the group who even stood up to Dwight. In the comic books, Eugene discovers an old metal factory, which he uses to produce ammunition for the war so that Rick's plan can succeed. Since the TV version of Eugene also pursued this goal, it is more likely that he will become more relevant in the upcoming episodes.
Okay. Thank you for your protection.
What do you think of that distribution of roles? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you like videos like that and you want to see more, then just subscribe.